Taking responsibility doesn't mean that we're necessarily taking responsibility for the condition. It's very important. It's not taking responsibility for the condition. It's taking responsibility for my presence in the condition. When the condition arises and it's here, I'm taking responsibility for what is my presence, what is my energy, what are my thoughts, what are my feelings. And I begin to, as I do that, I move into a new space. I move into a place and take responsibility for that. Okay, is my energy grounded? Is my energy positive? Is my energy affirming? What are my thoughts in this moment? What am I thinking right now in this overwhelmed, stressed out moment? What are my words? What are my actions? So that's what we're to take responsibility for. And when we do this, we have a measure of control over this condition. In this case, of feeling an overwhelm or stressed. And as I have a measure of control over it, then that begins to change my experience. And as it begins to change my experience, that ultimately changes that condition. This is the power of this portal called responsibility. Now, I can attract more money. I can take responsibility for my demonstrations, for my own healing, because I'm using the spiritual laws in a very concrete way and in a deliberate manner. That's some radical responsibility. But it doesn't mean taking it all the way to another kind of radical responsibility. You don't have to take responsibility for everything you created. Hey, I didn't create the hurricane, for example. We can just take responsibility for that which is our part in whatever's going on. Sometimes I do create some things, and I have to take responsibility for that. I create some things because of false beliefs. I know that, okay, I created this. A year ago, Petra and I went on an incredible vacation. It's something that I had planned for over 2 years. It was a dream vacation of mine. And some of you know this. And it costs a lot of money. We saved for that. And all I wanted to do was to be able to take pictures of bears and go on a bear trip and take pictures of bears. And so I found a great trip on a sailboat, small sailboat. Only 8 people could go. And it was in British Columbia in the Great Bear Rainforest. I wanted to go see spirit bears. Boy, did I plan that. I was looking forward to it. I just was ready. And we got there. We were packed, ready, arrived. We got on the boat on a Sunday afternoon. I was just so thrilled. I couldn't believe it. Dream come true. And the next morning, on Monday morning, it was our first excursion, and I couldn't wait. And I'm like, there's beauty everywhere. I'm in awe. And we get in the little dinghy boats. Very first time getting the dinghy boats. And I asked this young professional photographer, like, well, should I take this lens or this lens? What? She was like, well, you might need this and this and this. So I took my whole pack, 40 pounds of pack of my equipment and little wader boots, rubber boots. And here I go. I just can't wait. We landed. We're on shore. And our guide said, okay, we're going to go down this river because there's probably some grizzlies down here. I was so stoked. We needed to maneuver around a tree. One gentleman went in front of me, and I watched him and I went, okay, that looks pretty good, but it was a very tight space with some roots to go around this big tree because there was a little drop off. And so I started and I went around the tree with my 40-pound pack and it got caught. And I wobbled and I said, help me. He couldn't hold me, not my weight, plus 40 pounds. And I went down and twisted my ankle like I've never done before. I knew I was in bad shape. And all I could think of was, why me? Why me? Why me? Oh, I was devastated. Devastated. And guess what? I started to shift the responsibility on anyone else around me I could. Oh, well, he should not have made us go by this tree with a 2-foot drop right there. That guy should have been able to handle me. The woman shouldn't have told me to take all these lenses. You see, I was spewing everywhere. And I was going to be on the boat with him for 10 days with a really busted ankle. In fact, I didn't know it was broken. So I had to take responsibility for 10 days for my thoughts and my feelings and the energy. How was I around people? How was I going to be with Petra, who had to now take care of me and help me? How was I going to be that I still could see all this stuff, but I couldn't go on every excursion because I could barely walk? So we can take responsibility. Did I create that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was a false belief or not that created it. It could have just happened. It was an accident. But it was my responsibility in that moment, was how was I going to take this up? So that is the key. The key is, instead of asking, why me? The most empowered response and responsibility there is to move from why me to now what? Now what? Now what? How do I take that up? The why me is a rear view mirror. It's all about the past. It's already happened. The what now is about how am I going to take it up from this moment on? And this is a powerful portal when we go, what now? How am I going to take this up?